I am Matt Camp, as always, joined by Daddy Magic. It is Double or Nothing week, Daddy Magic. How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling good, looking good. A lot of travel this week. Heading out to Albuquerque tomorrow for Dynamite, and of course, then back home, and then out to Phoenix. Double or Nothing. I can't wait.
Can't wait. Big show. We're going to preview what we know so far for Double or Nothing. We're also going to talk about what's coming up on the Go Home Dynamite on Wednesday night, live on TBS, stream it on Max.
Woo.
But you mentioned some upcoming events.
Oh, yeah.
This morning, we found out.
What are you showing me? What are we doing here?
We're going to Toronto on Saturday, September 20th, sir.
Oh, how about that? Look at this. Toronto, Canada, all out. Saturday, September the 20th, AEWTIX.com for your tickets. I can't wait. Canada, always hungry for live entertainment, right? A lot of people, they don't want to go up there, but we're going. Okay, we're going. Toronto, we're doing pay-per-view. We did Forbidden Door there a couple years ago. We've hit Dynamite. We've done Rampages. We've done the whole deal, and they're always incredible fans.
Are you excited to call RJ City versus Renee Paquette? Are you excited to call that match?
Give it to me inside of a cage.
In a cage, the wrestle ants explode. Just it's a like a soft handshake, and then
in front of their friends and family.
RJ has friends.
To the death. Well, that's debatable.
Just joking, sir. As always, but. That's not the only event coming your way. You mentioned where we're going to be, of course, this week. Albuquerque, Wednesday night for Dynamite. You also could see Collision ahead of Saturday. Double or Nothing coming your way in Phoenix this weekend. Right back at it in El Paso next weekend. And you see all the events coming up. And let's run through those in a little bit more detail. But before we talk about right here, Double or Nothing coming your way on Sunday, May 25th, this weekend, Desert Diamond Arena. You can watch it, of course, on pay-per-view, and you can be in the Desert Diamond Arena by going to AEWTix.com. However, Fyter Fest, another big show here for Dynamite and Collision in June in Denver. Summer blockbuster is going to be coming your way in Portland. Daddy Magic, what's a good summer blockbuster for you?
I mean, Independence Day.
Oh, perfect. Great answer.
Right? When you're thinking, as a child, that was the big one. Man, look at this. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
No, that's important. Maybe people can come dress up as their favorite Independence Day character, a favorite summer blockbuster character, or show up as Daddy Magic and probably be a little hot because those tracksuits are warm in the summer.
I'm sweating my ass off right now.
You might be sweating at Grand Slam Mexico on June 18th, which is, by the way, just to stop on this one for a second. I know tickets are flying out the door right now. You go to Ticketmaster.com, .mx or AEWTix.com. But I think you know this as a student of the game. To have a show broadcast live in Arena Mexico on a Wednesday it has the potential to have one of the wildest crowds, I think, in television wrestling history.
It's going to be rowdy. It is going to be rowdy. And it's just a historical place. It means a lot for the company. I know it means a lot to TK personally that we're going to be able to do that. And I'll tell you what, though. Like, I didn't know this. I guess where Arena Mexico is, we've been getting text messages all week about the altitude and how it's going to affect us from our medical staff and how to prepare for that. And it's pretty wild to think about.
Yeah, it is up in the mountains a little bit there. People don't think of that necessarily because they don't know the geography and all that. But like I said, no rest, though, because you'll move right into Collision and, of course, Dynamite 300 in Ontario in the EVP's backyard. Man, what a milestone that is. But only 10 days later, all in Texas. A lot of ties to this week.
No sleep, no rest.
And look, by the way, all in Texas, which is going to be a massive show, as we know. 4 days later begins the residency in Chicago. Those tickets are on sale right now at AEWTix.com. You can go to every single one of those shows, which will take us 1 month later into the 2300 Arena, formerly known as the ECW Arena. And then, it does not end. But all of this is, of course, coming your way in the next couple of weeks. Daddy Magic, I see these schedules. I see so many different towns, but these big events, these pay-per-views, there is no rest from a travel standpoint, but it feels like everything gets ratcheted up a little bit more when you know what's coming down the road.
No, it definitely does, and I think it's cool that it's bookend here, kind of with a Double or Nothing this weekend, bookend with Toronto and All Out, and it's pretty special. Everything in between all the big names on those shows, the Dynamites, the Collisions, with the label, that's always exciting. And the residency, we're coming to town. We're gonna park. We're doing a bunch of shows. Get your 6-pack tickets, your season pass, whatever you want to call it. We're doing the thing, awtix.com. Matt, I am pumped. Summertime.
It's summertime. Summertime in wrestling just goes right. I love. Think about it now. You can sit back on a Wednesday night outside.
School.
Yeah, school's getting out soon for kids. If you're not out already, Wednesday night, you flip on Dynamite. You're outside. You're streaming on Max. I've done that. Little iPad going, little fire going, whatever you might like to enjoy to put yourself in the right mindset. Yeah, look, it's a nice ambiance.
Yeah, it's very cozy.
Really sets the
cozy.
mood for those that are you.
Jesus,
if your significant other is enjoying it. Like, listen, my wife likes watching Hangman on TV sometimes. I don't know what to tell you. He's a good-looking man.
Guy.
Exactly. He's a good-looking guy. And speaking of, we have to talk about the Double or Nothing card. And we'll start with this, which is a very recent addition to the Double or Nothing card in the last day. Daddy Magic, Mark Briscoe, Ricochet, they've had their battles in recent weeks, but it's going to be a stretcher match.
A stretcher match. I mean, I'm not too clear on what the rules for this precise stretcher match are going to be. They tend to vary throughout time and history in different promotions. What exactly a stretcher match is, right? But I'll tell you what, it's going to be a hell of a match, and you're going to get your very best effort from both of those guys. And I don't know if you remember last month at Dynasty, Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher just toe to toe, absolutely destroying each other. Just the passion that they pour into their love of professional wrestling, and I expect nothing less from Briscoe and Ricochet this Sunday night.
Yeah, and this will be, I believe, the first stretcher match in AEW history, so the rules can vary, but I know if you're losing, you're going to be on a stretcher. I can tell you that.
You're going to be on a goddamn stretcher.
Buddy, I sprung this on you a little bit here, but things have heated up in quite a short period of time, and now you're going to see, after Nigel accepted this past weekend on Collision, Nigel McGuinness, who has not been in action since Hammerstein at the end of last year, teaming with Danny Garcia against FTR and Tiny Stokely there, who's next to the Cactus. Jokes aside, though, buddy, once again, where are you at with all this? You're.
I mean, my first thought is we got to get an updated graphic. I need myself in the Stokely size underneath my
You
boys
could be
there.
a little bigger than that. You're at least this big.
Please, yes, a little respect. You're right. But no, business definitely picked up. Nigel accepted Danny's offer. It's pretty cool for me. Well, I mean, as a guy, I have my own vendetta with FTR and those guys right after what happened last month, and then Danny, of course, being with him since the day he came into the company, and Nigel on the broadcast team. So to be up there with those guys on pay-per-view is pretty cool for me.
Really looking forward to that. And if you want to take out Stokely in any way possible, I mean, I think everybody would be really happy to see it.
Yeah, I would say that's going to be part of the game plan, yeah.
And God, those tracksuits, they're an eyesore.
They're absolutely disgusting. I mean, it's got nothing on this.
No, you're a pro. You're as I read the other day, you're from the Italian part of somewhere in Canada. Right?
That's right. Montreal East. That's right. Yeah. Is there a problem?
I was like, oh, that's an interesting description of him. Sure, I get that makes sense. But moving on from that, first of 2 tournament finals. We're going to see Will Ospreay, Hangman Adam Page. They will be, we'll get to this in a second, face-to-face on Dynamite this week. They've never met before. And I think I mentioned this to you last time we talked about this. They have still never had a match. They were obviously on the same side of things recently, as we saw on Dynamite. But those two guys have had these, I don't want to say parallel rises to the top, because Will hasn't been around nearly as long. Hangman's a foundational guy of AEW. Some call him the main character, whatever you want to say. But they've never been in there one-on-one. Yeah. And I said this recently, and I stand by this. I don't know if there is a bigger first-time match that anyone anywhere can put on in professional wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you're talking about first time matches, I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'd need a minute. But, man, of course, it came down to these two in this tournament. And I'm looking forward to who is going to take it. And it's the first time they've ever wrestled. At least I think they did a tag team thing years ago. No, maybe,
yeah, but like but nothing
yeah,
one-on-one.
Different people, yes. So it's just like obviously Ospreay is known for his high-paced style, right? Are they going to want? Is he going to want to take things a little slower? He doesn't know what Hangman's bringing to the table. If it's their first time meeting, you know what I mean? Every time you wrestle somebody, and this is what my issue with the Danny Garcia Adam Cole situation was a couple months ago, where he just kept giving Cole these opportunities, and it's like every time you wrestle somebody, it's like you're downloading information on that person, and you know what to expect a little bit more, and you think of counters and this and that, and you could game plan better. But when it's your first time, you have no idea what you're expecting. So are they going to want to take it a little slower and download that information, so to speak?
It's such an intriguing match because it does really feel like it's the future of the company.
Yeah.
And I said to you last time, I said, I think Hangman's better right now than he was when he was world champ. I think you've seen this throughout your years, is there is an element of when you win that world title for the first time and you're kind of on your own. And yeah, sure, you might be a fan favorite, you might getting love from the crowd, but you're now in the deep waters permanently. And I think Hangman has more experience, more ups and downs that I think will better serve him if he can get by Will and then become world champion in Texas in July.
I mean, I think you're right when you say that he's obviously more experienced, but the fact that he was the champion, I think there's something to be said for you win the belt and you're at the mountaintop. I made it. I accomplished the goal, right? But now you've been there. I have a point I'm trying to make here. It's like you're happy to be there is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You're the champion, and it's like you're happy you made it. And you'll maybe lose sight of what it takes to what it took to get you there because you accomplish your goal. It's normal that you take your guard down a little bit. And now to be that close to re-accomplishing the goal, that's got to be pretty special for him. And to do it twice in a short amount of time, and everything that man has gone through, it's going to feel pretty good if Hangman can not only beat Will Ospreay, but then go on to All In and beat whoever the champion is at that time.
And it is earning it every way. I mean, that's not only what he's gone through as a man, and a test of his character. You brought up character. His character has changed. Who he is as a man. I think deep down the morals are the same. I think he went through some stuff that he needed to go through, but we have seen him, I've said heal. Like he has healed himself almost through his actions and listening to CD and, stepping out in front of the crowd and finding, I don't want to call it peace with Swerve, but a way to go, that's done.
Yeah, we're putting it behind us. Yeah.
Both of them, though. And they both
the chapter there.
They both needed to do that, and I think Hangman needed to do that because you're going up against Will Ospreay, who is, you could say he's the best wrestler in the world. You could say he's the best wrestler in the world to not be a world champion right now, and I think those are both fair statements. But I love that Will was like, listen, I know what you went through. This is your redemption, but my ascension is more important.
Yeah, I mean, to him, obviously, everybody's going to be thinking that, yeah.
If you have those two roads, though, because they're very different roads, where Will came from, and he dealt with the Callis family and stuff with Kenny and all that, but never to the level that Hangman did over the last year. It wasn't as vengeful. Sure, he dealt with MJF, and MJF was, but it never got to such a level where...
Well, yeah, nobody's breaking into your house and going after your family.
No, and you're losing your mind because of it, and it takes you out of it. Ospreay is so locked in, and he lives for these moments, which is why it's so hard to pick, because there is going to almost be, I think, and you tell me from someone who's there, there might be this unbelievable pressure attached to one of these two guys, because if it is still Moxley, and we're 2 months away, there's going to be a lot of people going, you have to get this done. You're one of, I mean, Swerve went through what he went through. Cope went through what he went through. Orange, Jay White, Hangman earlier, Darby. But at some point, I think you start to lose hope. And if one of these two guys can't get it done, what does the rest of that roadmap we just looked at for the rest of the year look like? What kind of pressure is that, though?
There's always going to be somebody coming up, right? There's always going to be somebody next in line. Hell, I'll take a shot at the title, Mox, if there's nobody. You know what I mean?
Let's
I'll
go.
get the job done. Yeah, right. Give me a cap and then give me 6 weeks and we'll do it. But the beauty about this match, and it's to your point of Hangman and putting the Swerve stuff behind him, all the emotions that he went through in the last 2 years. It's like all of that is behind him now. Will Ospreay is at the absolute top of his game, and Hangman coming in with a clear head. You want to say you're getting the both of them at their absolute best, the peak of their profession right now, and it just doesn't get any better than that. And I'm happy for both of them. And I'm happy for the fans because we're gonna see them at their best.
It is such an anticipated match for all the right reasons. It is beautiful pro wrestling coming to a head, and I can't get more excited about a match, at least until we talk about something else that we have not seen before, that we are going to see once again in the finals. We're going to see Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter one-on-one, and Jamie put up a post, Daddy Magic, I think in the last couple of days, with this image and this graphic of this is her first pay-per-view match in 2 years, and to come all the way back to not only get back to pay-per-view, but to do so now against maybe bell to bell. Certainly, I think maybe the best female wrestler in the world, and I put her in the conversation with anybody in Mercedes Moné, and such different talents, but there seems to be a lot here that's on Jamie's mind in terms of how long it took it to come back, the injury, not finding her way. We talked about that recently.
Yeah.
If you're Jamie Hayter, what's the mindset going in against someone who I think has to go in the favorite as Mercedes Moné?
I don't think there's any question that she's the favorite. But if you're Jamie, the pressure has to be immense because, like you said, it was 2 years she hasn't had a pay-per-view match. She was hurt for, I want to say, a year and a half of that time, or I mean, just about. And you're injured, you're out, you're not even being thought of by anybody on a championship committee or anything like that. You are at the bottom, the absolute bottom of the totem pole, and to come back from injury and to overcome all the mental obstacles that come with that, and to get yourself into a position, you climb the mountain, and now you're right there. It's what I said about Hangman earlier. You're right there, and the last thing Jamie Hayter wants to do after overcoming everything she has is go back down to the bottom, because that's what happens here, right? Let's be very clear. That is what happens. You lose, you go back down to the bottom, and you start over. And she is not going to want to let that go.
And the other part is, of course, with Mercedes, just lost one of her championships. Just lost the New Japan Strong Women's Championship to Azumi, who was in that four-way last Wednesday. That included, obviously, Mina. And we're going to get to that right now. Let's move right along, because Mina Shirakawa becomes the first person to pin Toni Storm in quite some time. If I remember correctly, probably since Mariah May defeated her at All in Wembley last year. Yeah. But Mina now gets the shot at Toni, and Mina now part of the roster, unlike last year when she faced Toni at Forbidden Door, not a full-time member of the roster. What a way to potentially knock the door down. Toni says she's timeless, but Daddy Magic, Mina says she's now.
Well, different matchup from last time, I think, then they met, right? There was you brought up Mariah May. She was in the middle of all that. It was all very bizarre. All that is out the window this Sunday, title on the line. Yeah, it's going to be something. Look, Mina is fantastic, an incredible performer, unbelievably athletic, beautiful. Not that has anything to do with the wrestling, but listen, it's a nice cherry on top.
It's a confidence builder. She knows it, though, too, and it works. And finally, well, we'll get to the tag match as well, but obviously we're going to see for those that didn't catch all of Collision yet, and it is available for you, you can. We're going to see the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, the ROH Tag Team Champions, taking on the Hurt Syndicate with the AEW Tag Team titles on the line. I'm sure we'll hear more about that because Hurt Syndicate's got a busy week coming up. But Daddy Magic, we got this too. We don't know what the sides will look like yet. You have a little experience in this world.
Yeah, you sure do. Anarchy in the Arena, man. Does that bring back memories? I get goosebumps just thinking about it, man. That was a big time match. The very first Anarchy in the Arena, 3 years ago now, down in Las Vegas. It is so. There's been, I believe, 3 of these matches so far. Right, this will be the 4th coming up this Sunday. You have a little bit of an understanding of what's going to happen, right? Like you can watch the match that happened earlier. Not that you know what to expect. You know you're going into something, and you have a better idea than what we did 3 years ago. We had no idea what we were stepping into when we walked out the curtain.
Yeah.
God, is it fun though? It's going to be wild, guys. I don't really know what to say. Like obviously it's Death Riders against. I mean, who's on the other side?
Right. What's that team look like? We don't know. Swerve put the challenge out there, but people have been banged up. I don't know how this involves Marina and Willow.
Brother fit in? Gabe Kidd.
Claudio, Okada, the Bucks. I mean, who knows? And you said it's going to be fun.
Here's another one. If I could touch on it, Willow and Marina.
Right.
Are they going to be in the mix? Are they going to be a part of this match?
I hope so. I certainly hope so.
Yeah, I mean, same here.
Double or Nothing, though, is, of course, coming your way this Sunday, May 25th, awtix.com. Be there in the Desert Diamond Arena or catch it on pay-per-view. We're running short on time, but let's tell the people what's going on, of course, this week on Dynamite. Because, we got a little help previewing the show here.
Take a look at that. Oh, man, is that a big-time match or what?
Look at this right here. We got Jon Moxley, the AEW World Champion, tagging with the EVPs, the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, against Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, 2/3 of the Trios champions, and the former AEW World Champion, Swerve Strickland. Could you load up, as we have a special guest here, could you load up this show anymore? Daddy Magic and Young Daddy Magic, could you load up that show even more, that match even more?
I mean, you just have the AEW roster written on a wall, and you just throw darts at it, and it's a home run every time. You just look at that match; it's incredible.
We're gonna see these guys be face to face, of course. After this trios match, we got to talk about this match right here, or this shouldn't even say match. This face-off right here between Will Ospreay and Hangman. Some very heavy words recently. We're going to see Mercedes and Jamie also have a face-to-face. Daddy Magic, how much do you give away? How do you handle a situation like this where, all right, we're going to meet face-to-face, but I'm going to get in there in one of the biggest matches of my career with you on Sunday?
So to me, it's not unlike a press conference before a big boxing match. You know what I mean? You're going to get there. You're going to get your face-to-face. Obviously, it's in the title of the segment. There'll be nose to nose, and they'll be doing one of those. It's just part of the deal. We're promoting these big time matches, and it's an opportunity to get inside your opponent's head if you choose to.
Yeah, it's a big one, and like we said, a couple of face-to-face meetings there because we're gonna see those two matches coming your way at Double or Nothing. We will see Ospreay and Hangman. The Owen final winner moves on to All in Texas, of course, and in addition to that, we are going to see Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter in the Owen final. Winner move on, of course, to All in Texas. Will it still be Toni Storm as the champion? We'll see if she can get by Mina Shirakawa at Double or Nothing on Sunday. But before that, we are going to see, let me get back to this here for you. We're going to see on Dynamite tomorrow night. Look at this one.
Oh, look at that.
Mina and Julia Hart, the former TBS champion, timeless Toni Storm on commentary. Not exactly.
Is that always special or what?
Oh, it is. It is.
On the golf.
And that's coming from you, who does this all the time. I mean,
she's an absolute gem. I've never been out there with her as we did it.
Oh, that needs to happen.
I would love that.
I could imagine what she would do with your name. But by the way, Not exactly a warm-up for Mina heading into Tony Storm on Sunday against the former TBS champion Julia Hart.
No, Julia, a heck of a performer. She's another one coming off injury and has something to prove. And look, even if she doesn't get it done on Wednesday, it's confidence. It's moving forward. It's getting over the mental hurdles of coming back from injury.
And then as we look forward to, obviously, the trios title match that we talked about the face-to-face here with Ospreay and Hangman, with Mercedes and Jamie. This match ahead of Mina's title shot at Tony on Sunday, but also this MJF's official contract signing into the Herd Syndicate.
Contract?
We're going to see Shelton and Bobby defending those tag team titles against the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, the ROH tag team champions. I don't know if they'll be paying attention to this one, Daddy Magic, but a contract signing into a faction, only MJF would demand that.
I mean, listen, he's a man who likes to cross his T's and dot his I's and leave no stone unturned,
I wonder what the demands are. He was telling MVP, like, I'm going to have smart
mark. He just wants a friend. I think it's a contract of friendship. Just be cool.
I could beat these guys up, I swear. Just please be my friend. You're so giant.
My friend. Yeah.
I need friends because I'm a prick. Anyway.
It's the only way you can keep a friend, I guess, is with a contract.
Yeah, some people are like that, I guess. Contracted friends. AEWTix.com. You can see it Albuquerque on Wednesday night for Dynamite and Collision. Double or Nothing coming your way. And as we announced this morning, All Out in Toronto, Saturday, September 20th. All of the tickets, all of these events that are coming up, you can check it all out at AEWTix.com. All over the North American region, I guess we would say. And big Dynamite, big Double or Nothing coming your way. Make sure you hit us up on social media at AEW. Get us at the Matt Camp, at the Daddy Magic. And we love to hear from you on the show. Make sure you're checking out the latest shirts, as you saw behind me, at where? AEW, shopaew.com. Daddy Magic, I think you know a little bit about that, sir.
Yeah, just a little bit. Daddy Magic's 30-second merch madness. We're talking all the t-shirts, all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. Buy your mother something. Take care of her. How about that?
Look at this.
T-shirts, a beautiful brick wall you got
behind.
Oh,
yeah. The painting I had to do, Daddy Magic, to get this thing done. But now it is done. And this show is done.